Biggest problem with libertarians, literally, this is the biggest problem, is we are all extremely well read at libertarian philosophy. We've read Murray Rothbard and F.A. Hayek and Mises and all these great economists and Austrian economists and philosophers and just everything you could possibly imagine. Henry Hazlitt and blah, 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 blah. And then you want to go out and you want to lecture this to people. And no one cares. Literally, no one cares. They want to hear about how you're going to make their gas prices go down. Yeah, that's what they care about.
I just wanted to clarify, too, because I wasn't sure on that. It's not the capital.
Is it not the capital?
It's the capital.
I had my own Aleppo moment. It's Damascus. That's right.
I thought it was Damascus, but you said that. I was like, let me double check before
You're right. It's Damascus.
One thing that libertarians, a problem they have too, I think, is that they're not like obsessed with global military. Like you got to be, in order to be a great commander in chief of our military, you got to understand like how are we going to dominate and annihilate everything on Earth so we don't have to.
No, but we're not going to do that.
That's we're not going, but you have to know how so that you don't. Sure. So you know how not to.
We'd be a much safer nation if our 2/3 of our military wasn't stationed around the world.
Because if the president doesn't understand it, if the president's not a military expert, then someone else is going to run the military.
Sure.
The thing is, they just have to know enough about it and have. The reality is, whoever is the president may be really well versed on a couple issues, right? They might have, let's say, 5 that they know backwards, forwards, they know everything about, but realistically, they're going to need a staff that is able to, that relies on expertise and is able to brief them quickly. And so that's why, when Gary Johnson gets the Aleppo question wrong, it means he did not have anyone around him to say, this is a current issue that you should know about. And that's one of the problems going forward. I mean, this was a criticism people had of Trump when he was in the White House, was that the people he surrounded himself with did not look out for his best interest and we were not guiding him in the right direction. It's unrealistic to expect a president to know absolutely everything.
Yeah, but a lot of that was his fault too, because he was going to drain the swamp and then he surrounded himself with the swamp.
I'm not saying it wasn't, but ultimately this is a problem that could be true for a libertarian president, it could be true for a Democrat president. It is not actually the person on stage who knows everything. It's the people they're surrounding themselves with.
Yeah, the president does have generals, but the commander must know military doctrine, or at least rapidly learn it upon.
But under that, in that logic, we would only want people who had served in the military to be presidents, which could be true in some eras, right? But theoretically, right now, I mean, as far as I know, Joe Biden didn't serve in the military. Maybe he'll tell us something different. Trump went to military boarding school, right? But he didn't actually serve in the military. So theoretically, both of these people have the... What?
That's right. Yeah. When was the last time we had a military commander, like a ex-military guy or woman guy?
George Bush. Was it George Bush?
Was he in the military?
Yeah,
the dad.
You mean HW?
Weren't they both in the military? They were both in the military.
but W wasn't his story that he didn't go to Vietnam or something?
Something like that. But he was in the military.
I mean, was it? How far back are we going?
He's in the Air Force.
Did Clinton serve in the military?
Not that I know of.
No, Clinton was in the military.
We have to work backwards.
Reagan was a movie star.
John F. Kennedy.
Kennedy would definitely
was
serve
in the
military.
Navy,
That was a huge deal.
in Vietnam.
And he received. He wasn't Purple Heart, but he received like some very serious award for saving people.
Yeah, literally, he saved a bunch of dudes off a sinking ship or some crazy story. That would be a great story to
George
pull
W.
up
Bush served in the Navy during World War II.
George Bush.
George H.W. Bush served in the Navy.
Wow.